Actually, you know, it's not actually as big as it's not actually big. It's large, but it's actually, you know, quite comfy. It's quite I don't know. It's quite I don't know. It's strange. Actually, the more I talk, the smaller it feels. Strange. It's like as time passes, it's shrinking, but it doesn't actually feel overly big. I mean, there's a bit of it is obviously, it looks quite big. It's quite compared to obviously small and medium, but I feel it's not as big as I thought it would be. It's because if you didn't see the other video, I apparently only discovering today when it arrived. I ordered a large size instead of a small or medium, I guess. But I don't know. I guess it could have been. It's not gigantic, but it is quite yeah, it's quite big. It's quite large, but it's not massively large. So, but anyway, so that's the front. Obviously, it's hard for me to show you the back, but actually, I can. There you go. Oh gosh, that hurts my head. Do you ever get a funny feeling in your head when you turn your neck too much? It's like, I don't know, sort of like almost dizziness, I guess. Anyway, I don't know why. I just remembered I needed to finish shaving. I just remembered. I just suddenly remembered I needed to finish shaving. I don't know why. I suddenly forgot. I was like halfway through, and my battery died, and so then I was so yeah, I have a very strange face at the moment, stranger than usual. But yeah, so oh yeah, so I wanted to talk about yeah, so first of all, it looks very nice, and it's got a very nice what's it to it. It's a very nice. I really like the border, the fonts, the colours, and so on. That's all very good. Forgot to charge my shaver, so so yeah, that was good. But yeah, what I was what is it? I think it needs oiling again because it's kind of really funny. But yeah, I was going to talk about Dragon Ball Super as well. Flicking hairs into my laptop's keyboard. Not the best of ideas. So anyway, I don't know why I'm shaving while talking to you. I'll leave that to later. But yeah, so my battery died, and I just remembered I was charging it last night a bit. But so yeah, anyway, I have a very hate how thin the hairs are. Yeah, that was so yeah, Dragon Ball Super is obviously ending. Why that's not funny. It's just I don't know. I just realised I started turning this into a shaving video, and I don't know. There was something comical about it. So yeah, Dragon Ball Super is ending. Wow, gear. I went into another gear. Dragon Ball Super is ending soon. Which is not funny at all. Well, it is, because though it's ending, it's not ending. Obviously, Dragon Ball will always continue, and in this case, we, as opposed to later years, we know already what's coming up. There's going to be a movie, and because in the other years there was a bigger time gap, but we know there's going to be a movie and perhaps a new series, I imagine. And some people are saying it will be called Dragon Ball Super. We'll see. But yes, see, I look 10 years younger already. But yeah, ouch, just my because my coordination and my tired muscles, it gets because sometimes after doing like phases, I've just realised I've got got hairs on my new T-shirt already. I don't know. I really don't think this through, did I? But yeah. So yeah. And I really shouldn't be doing it so close to a keyboard. I'm going to get hairs everywhere and damage the keyboard. So I'm not being very clever today. But yeah. So Dragon Ball Super is ending, which is not funny, but it's funny in that there's fun stuff coming in the future. So yeah, there's the movie that's supposedly going to feature Frieza. It's going to feature Frieza shaving, and yeah. So we've got 2 episodes left, I believe, just 2 now. So with just 2 episodes, is it 131 and 132, I believe, something around there. So anyway, even if it did end today, that's a whooping over 100, almost 150 kind of episodes. So yeah, yeah, and will the movie be incorporated into the new series again? Well, it might seem strange, particularly if it's going to be super. So, you know, if it's going to be wedged in between 2 series, whether that's 2 versions of the same anime or another version, whatever. It's going to be it's just because again it makes sense from a business perspective and from all sorts of logical perspectives. I imagine they may incorporate the movie into the series because, especially if people who can't afford the DVDs haven't got to the cinema, it makes sense to incorporate it like they did with Battle of Gods and Resurrection Hell. So I would not be surprised if there was a saga retelling the events of the movie, and the movie will be like an introduction since it stands alone as a whopping big feature, a whopping big segment of Dragon Ball, but also it serves as promotional material. It's essentially like a trailer for the new series. So I would not be surprised if they incorporated the new movie per se. I don't know about the plot or anything, we're still waiting for details, but personally I would not be overly surprised if they did incorporate it into the new series. It just makes sense, and we might say, well, why didn't do that with other movies? Yeah, that's completely different. They were not in the same continuity, the other movies, you know, Broly and so on. We're still waiting to see whether Broly exists in this universe. Obviously we had a female Broly, some would say, but yeah. So what is going on here? I'm terrible at shaving. Okay, I think that will do for now. So yeah, I just made a mess on my bed and on my face and on my t-shirt and everywhere. But yeah, so I don't know why I turned this into a shaving video. I just remembered I needed to shave and get rid of my sideburns as well. That's also something else annoying me. Yeah, I need to get rid of them. But yeah, they just grow back so quickly, don't they, sideburns? But yeah, they just swell so quickly, like Frieza's ego. So yeah, Dragon Ball Super is 2 episodes left, I believe. Well, for me it's been the first time that I've been old enough and having the appropriate freedom and technology to be able to see a Dragon Ball series as it's been produced live, because obviously we had the 80s before I was born, such. I mean, as a child we got new episodes of Dragon Ball Z, as in new to us but it wasn't new worldwide release. Obviously it wasn't Japanese, it was an English dub. They might have shown Japanese now and again on Cartoon Network maybe, but it was so it was live for UK, United Kingdom. Well, sometimes, because you know Cartoon Network, they always I remember they used to say brand new episodes for every cartoon they had. They always used to say brand new episodes, like 12 months later after they've first shown that episode. They used to say there's a brand new episode and everybody gets so excited. Well, and it's an episode they showed like half a year ago. They used to do it for Dexter's Laboratory, I think. One of those strange cartoons, Tenchi Mayo or something. No, Tenchi Mayo, what was that? No, Tenchi Mayo was an anime, wasn't it? No. What was Tenchi Mayo? There was something about these sumo wrestlers, and it was just like the most dodgy cartoon ever, even by a Cartoon Network stand. It was like as strange as Cow and Chicken. Tenchi, yeah, I think it was called Tenchi Mayo. Or am I thinking of an anime? It's in the Japanese animation. I think. I think it was called Tenchi Man, I can't remember. Then there was Cramp Twins, there's to say new episodes, and there was never, it was just the same one about, I don't know, some aliens, some green man or so, I don't know, Lucian, I think his name was Lucian, and Miles or something, I don't know. It's just an ongoing. They used to show the same episodes, and they used to seem to apparently used to scramble to try and trick people or seduce them. But I know it's Brandon there, and it never was. But yeah. But yeah, now I'm getting to see, now I'm old enough to have the freedom and technology to see it live. So as in almost live. So but in a long running sense, I've seen it not lots long after it's been produced in Japan. So yeah, so it's the first time I've been old enough, etc., to be able to see a Dragon Ball series as it's coming out, being produced. So that's very interesting, very exciting, and helps me familiarise with watching things in Japanese, getting accustomed to dubs and stuff. And yeah, you can take to it quite quickly. I guess I was maybe surprised myself. I guess because growing up with American voices, so it was and not just in Dragon Ball in general, because almost all cartoons are American, as in this side of the world anyway. Most Cramp Twins is an American or Canadian, whatever, cast, as in American, as in the continent. I'm not sure. Obviously Canada and America, the United States are separate countries, but they're closely linked together often, especially with productions and stuff. Naturally, so sometimes it's one or the other. Like Dragon Ball had a Canadian cast once, but whereas we do have some British productions and movies, like the BFG was of course David Jason. I think Danger Mouse was that. No, that wasn't British, was it? But David Jason was in it. That's why I was pondering. But surely that was an American production. I'm not sure. No, maybe it was British. I don't think I ever really saw it. Transformers was obviously American, and has remained pretty much, even though it's got ties to Japan, strong ties. It's and exclusive series in Japan. There's some exclusive series, but there are some exclusive series in Japan, but it's very much Americanized as well. Dexter's Laboratory. Now that's very American. Um, there must be some more British. Gosh, my brain's not working today. My brain is not really working at all. Gosh, my brain is not working today. Oh no, I know. Tenchi Mayo was something else. It was called Mucha Lucha, that wrestling thing. I suddenly remembered. I knew there was a chant or an incantation or something in my head. It was called Mucha Lucha, I think. So what was Tenchi Mayo? Tenchi Mayo was that. Tenchi Mayo's Tenchi, yeah, that brilliant anime. Of course, how could I get them too confused? Tenchi Mayo's. I knew I had it in my head for a reason. Tenchi Mayo's, because I can hear the Japanese girl calling his name Tenchi. Tenchi Mayo was that fun random about vampires and gods and angels. Tenchi Mayo, yeah, that was a brilliant. That was Cartoon Network. They did actually show it. That was one of their first animes. I remember them showing alongside Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. They used to show Tenchi Mayo. Oh God, it sounds so silly now. How did I confuse Tenchi Mayo with Mucha Lucha? Yeah, it was Mucha Lucha. That was this dodgy wrestling program. No, Tenchi Mayo. It was like there was this boy who used to bounce. He used to turn himself into like a Now, once I start telling you this, you can forgive how I started to lose my sanity and get the two confused, because I completely I was so confused that I completely lost all of my senses. You'll forgive me once I explain. Even though they're completely different programs, I was so confused that I was just desperately scrambling to remember the good name and recall it correctly. It was Mucha Lucha. Tenchi Mayo was the really good anime. I think it was quite good. I can't remember much. I saw some of it a bit more recently, a few years back, and there were different dubs and stuff. But Mucha Lucha there was this guy called the Flea, so it was basically wrestling. I wondered, there's a guy called Curtis. He's he's got a YouTube channel. He does Dragon Ball Z reaction videos and such. Apparently he's a former wrestler in America. I wonder if he's seen it and what he would make of it. But anyway, it was called Mucha Lucha. There was this guy called the Flea. So they seem to have some more costumes. I think they were Mexican, and but I just remember this boy. He used to turn himself into like a pinball machine, and he just used to bounce around on his I don't know on what he bounced. So it's the typical cartoon where they take a quite cleverly, I guess, the concept of taking something and changing it. Like there was something called Beedemon that was Japanese. I think they were like they used to flick balls at each other's heads and save the world by flicking them. It is not. I'm probably not doing it justice. I'm probably not. But I just remember they're like little launchers. And they used to save the world. And you can say the same about Beyblade. And I'm a fan of Beyblade. I like Beyblade. That was good. But they used to save the world with spinning tops. People used to say. But it was a bit more complicated than that. Come on. They did have magical beasts inside, but and you can save the world through anything, because it's about nominated value and other concepts of value. So what you place on it. So if you build something up around spinning tops, then that becomes a focus, because obviously you can immediately see the real life counterpart. At the FA, some people say football is corrupt, but some people say it's a force for good, but at the end of the day it's just kicking a ball, but all these other things have become connected to it. So there is a real life example, Beyblade, the influence a sport could have. Again, it's united some people, it's disunited others. Obviously the football itself is innocent, it's the way people have behaved. But yeah, there was Beedemon, and I swear they just had launchers. They used to flick things at each other. But I didn't really see any episodes. I might be doing it. I wasn't injustice. There was something called Ultimate Muscle, but I think somebody said it was a rip-off of Dragon Ball or something. I don't know. I'll have to try and find some clips. Where it is when Cartoon Network started expanding. Now they thought, let's get some news shows. Our budget's going up, but I don't think I really ever got to see a look. I inquired on Twitter some years back, I think, when they first started releasing Beyblade on DVD, as in not just in singles. They've done singles before, but as in a box set. I think it's the first time, at least for Power Regions anyway, I think, or NTSC maybe. They did season 1. I asked them when will season 2 come out. I think they gave an expected answer that they'll see the sales of season 1 or whatever. But I think season 2 might be out now, I'm not sure, but I really hope, because I think I've not seen them, is it called Metal Masters or something, the new version of Beyblade. I've not seen it, and it might be good, I'm sure, but I really do like the originals. I really long to get the original sets, Beyblade, V-Force and G-Revolution. I'd like to get them all on DVD. I think I checked another day about my concept of time gets so all over the place. It might have been a year or so ago, and I think it's a few months ago I checked, and I think they're sold out. I think, because I saw in my Amazon basket, I was checking, let's see, so it sounds like it might have been popular, which is good and expected, and hopefully then they'll commission a new the other set of seasons on DVD, but maybe they or maybe it is too limited a print run. Beyblade, that's in another language. Beyblade Volume 1, yeah, these are the original sets, not the but Metal Fusion, Metal Master Box, yes, the new ones are on DVD. Here we go, the classic first season NTSC. Well, if you have VLC on your laptop computer, you can watch NTSC regions, even if you're in PAL. So it's from £69.18, and that's used, so there's no new has, and there's a like new, so just for used it's like £100. So wow, it's gone. Number of discs 8. I don't know if it has any extras, but yeah, I think the print one's been too limited. I hope they can release some. I like do you remember Woolworths, the toy shop Woolworths, a former toy shop, and there's another going now, Toys R Us. So it's a very sad day for the toy industry, the toy retail and so on, and hobby stores. There was a shop called Woolworths, and there was this I think it was volume 3, volume 4 or something. I think it had Ray's face on it. But anyway, it was a really big box, and it was a VHS, so obviously that's already why it's bigger than a DVD, but it was big also because you got a free Beyblade inside. You don't often see things like that anymore. Sometimes you get like the modern day equivalents, like steel books, you get something extra, but it was nice, it was really cool. I don't know how much it cost me, maybe about £5. So yeah, I got a VHS tape. I don't think I have any more, I think it got destroyed unfortunately, but and you got a free Beyblade inside. I don't know if it was Ray's Beyblade or somebody else's, but I don't think it was random. There was like a selection, so, and it was really cool. And I really liked how even with just the official Beyblade, there were so many different types. Some you had to like so there were even remote control Beyblade. I never had any of them, but there's even remote control ones you can now get. But there were different types, different ways of putting the Beyblade together and customised. Now I really liked that. It was a really good idea. Such a simple concept, spinning toys, but they made it work. Allow me to try from outside of Amazon, but first, before I go to Google, let me actually just do eBay, just to see if there's any sellers on eBay, any retailers or private individuals. We have Disney. Is it owned by oh, I see, somebody was selling multiple items. I was going to say doesn't look like anyone has Beyblade DVD season 1, but then that might come up with the ones that have not all the episodes from season 1, just the parts. The classic first seat. What? That can't be right. From Canada, £12.6 plus £4.11 postage. Not even £20. Now that's amazing. From Canada, and so it might take a while to arrive. That's okay, but I wonder if it's published in Canada. Was it a Canadian production? Maybe it could have been. Maybe that's why it's so cheap, but that seems too good to be true. But the only immediate concern, if this is a legitimate listing, is of course customer fees. That could add £15 or so I think about £15. Yeah, so I'd seen what eBay do now. You can actually pay it online. I'm not sure what deal they have with Royal Mail, but then you don't have to wait for it being held and stuff. So it's about time we did something like that to speed up customs fees. So I don't know if there's that option, but that can't be right. Look, Beyblade the Classic first season, brand new. Whoops, I accidentally went back. 3 people watching. That can't be right. Well, seriously, are you sure? Are you sure you're not kidding me? Get the item you ordered or your money back. Beyblade is a blast. Good value, 100% agree. Well, but okay, so that's a possible. Oh, and then from Australia, there's £52. Australia is, they've got to consider postage. Although that wasn't apparently considering the postage, they didn't factor into the immediate price, because then there's £16.11 postage. Although presumably standard postage was factored into their price. Depends how they're running their retail operation. Different ways of doing it. Wow. Okay, so let me open that in another tab to investigate. That could be good. Oh, by the way, I have let me show you in a second. I have Dragon Ball Super 1 DVD. Let me just search for season 2. No, it doesn't look like they've got a V full share. I really hope it's coming out soon. I have to check on Beyblade's Wikia page, or even its Wikipedia, but I think the Wikia will have much more to see if they've got DVD media releases. Original series. Here we go. I think mine's oh, it's got oh snap! I don't know what Google's done. It's gone into a it's having a bit of a struggle. I'm not sure where volume 1 is. I think I've probably erased somewhere saved, but here's volume 2. I'm not sure if I've shown you yet. I think I did in a video, but when I was opening it, as in opening my post, but and showing you inside, but I don't think it's been uploaded yet, so I'll have to check if I've uploaded. So there we've got the Battle of Gods arc, Battle of Gods Resurrection F, sorry. So yeah, so I don't have any Japanese releases yet. I did want to get some. I started looking before they started doing the English dub, but I ended up getting some English dub at first. But I'll look out for some Japanese releases still. They'll be very good in my collection and to revisit. And now, of course, there'll be memories, because now because obviously the English dub is new to me, because I watched the Japanese dub at first, and because this time I was old enough to see the Japanese dub first and had the technology and so on. So hearing the Japanese, it'll be really good hearing the Japanese on DVD again. So I was thinking, yeah, I saw that the first time round, so there'll be that added effect. And I know it's true for some of you. You've all seen the Japanese dub. So yeah, let me find. Information on every Beyblade toy. That's a bold order. They made a lot. Okay, so where's Ricky TV? I just want to know about DVDs, please. Surprised I've not run out of memory again. Oh, okay, that's just a general. I'm gonna here we go. I'm gonna go to the main Wikipedia page. That Wikia page wasn't clear. Maybe it's the mobile version and all. Yeah. Okay, this is just the oh yeah, there's some. They've listed the movies as well. This is just the first series to oh no, they are mentioning the others as well. North America is released by Viz Media, the manga. But what about media? Here we go. Okay. Spin-offs, Bay Wheels and the Bay Warriors. I'm not sure. I think I must have read about them at some point. In 2015, Deadline.com announced that Paramount Pictures had acquired the rights to turn it into a live-action film after the success of Transformers and G.I. Joe, all of which are owned by Hasbro and released through Paramount. The film will be produced by Mary Parent. I'm not familiar with that company, through its Disruption Entertainment banner. Random. Oh, actually, I'm not. I clicked. I meant to click on. Oh no, I am clicked on media, but they're not listing DVD. Oh, maybe they've clicked way under merchandise. Normally it'd be media, wouldn't it? Anyway, so it might be a live-action film, but I hope it's using the original characters. But I don't. I need to see the new ones too. Someone said Don Houston of DVD Talk wrote, the show is just one long repetitive commercial, not a well-made commercial like that. It doesn't say what Beyblade version he was talking about, but I thought it was much better than that. It was really good. And they used to say the same about Transformers, and obviously they originally used it to it was supposed to be commercials in a sense, but it turned into something much bigger. Transformers has rich lore, and I think they've been a bit harsh. Beyblade has rich lore. Of course, they focus on the toys as they're spinning and stuff. That's the whole point. They also do it without being too intrusive. So they do. I've not seen the new series of it, the new Beyblade, as I say, but talking about the original, they did have story. They did try to make something of it. I mean, yeah, it went quite, especially in the later years, it went quite deep. There was this Russian conspiracy about that guy who was brainwashing Kai. So, yeah, I don't know what you're going on about. I don't know what show you're watching, but the cult's following. Particularly about but what about the DVD? There's nothing about DVD. Oh, here we go. References. Oh, I didn't know about this. In 2016, so very recently, Takeyo Aiki released a sequel manga to G-Revolution called Beyblade Rising, featuring the original characters, so there is a continuation. It's currently ongoing. There are currently 4 volumes, with the 5th being released in Japan in September 2017. So I have to try and track that down, maybe from Amazon Japan, Amazon.jp, if it's not been imported by any UK retailers or American. But also that maybe there'll be a potential for at least a movie, if not a series, based upon it. Seeing what the old characters are up to, that would be good. I really like the depth, especially with Kai, how they showed complications to Kai again, how he got embroiled in a conspiracy and stuff. So Beyblade Rising was it called? So it's in Beyblade Rising, Tyson and Kai battle one last time before Kai goes to London. That's interesting, of all places. Tyson releasing his Storm, but that didn't work on Kai, and the match ends with Tyson being defeated. Meanwhile, Ray wins the original tournament. So and it's still ongoing, so they're obviously creating new Beyblade Season 4 they're calling it, yeah. Where can one buy it? That's the question. I need to be in Japan. We need a holiday in Japan, don't we? No, I can't find it on Amazon.Japan. Our bit just comes out with the Beyblade, so it doesn't seem to be available, but maybe if they do an English translation, it'll be easier to get hold of. But I'd like to read the Japanese manga. I'd like to get some Dragon Ball in Japan as well, because I've got some English translations, but and they are good as well. Of course, I can have the English, but I'd like to get some Japanese manga as well. Just got another scam from somebody pretending to be PayPal. I'm saying I sent a payment of £210 to some dodgy non-existent website. They've tried to make it a bit more legitimate. It almost looks good, but before I start, the email address is a string of random numbers. So there's still telltale signs. And never mind the fact that I think they sent it to an email address not associated with a PayPal account. That was a major flaw in their scam. But aside from that, warnings of snow. Yeah, so a mini beast from the east, they're calling it now. It's all this snow. So yeah, I might try and get that Canada. So that, oh, it's not loading the page. Here we go. 8 disc set 2014. Also, that's when it was released. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Say from Toronto, but are there custom fees? That's what I need to check. Otherwise, that's a bargain. Wow, they're less than £20, especially how rare it's getting on Amazon. That's a bargain on eBay. Don't know how many copies he has, or she, but you may want to check it out. I just hope that V-Force and G-Revolution will be released on DVD soon. I really hope. It seems they haven't, or at least not as a box set. Yeah, and maybe we'll get a new season of using the original cast. That would be good. So yeah, it's a little cold today, but it's sort of getting warm, I guess. About Dragon Ball Super, yes, as well, almost ending. I still feel it's going to be like a part 2, whether they use such a simple terming or not. They'll call it Dragon Ball Super, then add something else on. I don't know if they'll go like the later years or something, but yeah, there'll be some sort of rebranding, I imagine, but we will see. Certainly there'll be a new introduction, I guess, maybe flashbacks to the tournament arc and perhaps the movie, depending on how they incorporate it, whether it does become its own thing or not. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going on. And the movie is coming this year. It's a long way away, but it will be a Christmas surprise around then, and the plot will, I guess, maybe emerge August, November time, I'm guessing. Maybe, yeah. Let's have a guess about what the wish is. Because we could say Frieza. Let's go one route. Frieza wins the tournament, as it seems pretty much certain, unless there's a twist. That seems to be what hints have been suggesting. Frieza wins the tournament, so the question then becomes, obviously, what does he wish for? Does he wish for himself to be ruler of all the universes? Well, what does ruler mean? What does that mean? Well, how is that realised in Dragon Ball Universe? Does that mean he gains new power, he becomes stronger than the gods, or he simply gets approval from Zeno, therefore no one can dare disobey? Or does he ask to be Zeno's student? I don't know. So there's all sorts of different ways to go. So does he ask for all the universes to be revived and to make himself ruler, or just ask them to be revived? Do you feel that I kind of feel that it's going to be a slinking off? I kind of feel that I may well be wrong, but I kind of think that it's going to be the slinking off route. And also because he does not wish to feel that he's been helped by someone. He particularly, seeing with Goku, oh, you're a low class monkey. I don't need your energy. How humiliating! I'm Vegeta. I'm Prince Vegeta. That's why that came into my head. I'm Lord Frieza. You remember when he in his fit of rage and desperation, he tries to force his might onto someone, as in not physically but psychologically. He's trying to prove, look, I'm Lord Frieza, therefore I can kill you. And of course, it rebands terribly when Goku defends himself. So there's that route. I think it's a slinking off. Frieza doesn't want to, I'm going to wish for myself to be made Lord supreme ruler of the universe. I kind of feel he'd not do that. I kind of feel he would, because he's a coward. He'll hide. He'll also plot. He'll be cunning. It could well happen, but I also wonder if, particularly to set up for the movie in the next series, he'll be more slinking off. He'll say, I wish for all the universes to be resurrected, and then that's it, because then then that sets everything up. He'll go away, and nobody will come after him. It also does that good. Well, hang on, maybe he's turning over a new leaf. Goku's going to be stupid enough to believe that, maybe, but Vegeta won't buy it, and Goku will say, look, he's probably rotten to the core, but you know, we don't need to destroy him to get the universes back or undo time travel, whatever. He's done it for us, so let's leave him for now. Let's enjoy our lives. So there's that feature to it, and also there's the fact that I feel it's quite fitting in with Vegeta's character as well, as much as it would not be, but it could also be to that it also is that he would slink off. He would simply say revive all the universes, then he would go away to train so he can take over them. So I feel maybe a slinking off would be Frieza, particularly he's had a long day, he can hardly stand, and but I don't know, I just feel he would not be so direct. He would not wish to be supreme. He did want immortality once on planet Namek. He tried wishing for it. Maybe he wished for immortality. Oh, of course, yeah. Why did I not think of that? So we've seen recently what immortality can do and how we can still destroy, although it takes Zeno. And of course, what happens then if it takes Zeno to destroy another immortal? That's the end of our timeline. But no, that would be interesting. We'd have a Zamasu and another version of Immortal Zamasu. But you know what I'd love? For Zamasu to be revived, and for Zamasu to go head to head with Lord Frieza, a battle of egos and arrogance and pride, prideful vengeance, the prideful vengeance wars. But some people are saying it's going to talk about the history of the Saiyans, the new movie. So I'm very interested. This is going to be very interesting and very random. I just saw a few seconds ago I reached 51 minutes and 51 seconds. I'm thinking, if I stop here, that'd be good, and maybe that could be a new challenge, or I have to stop when it's to when I notice two digits mirroring each other, but it's too late now. It's 52 minutes and 15 seconds, but oh well, and however much stays in the final version, we'll see, but I'm sure I'll try to keep it all, most of it in. So I need to kind of ring some volunteers, do some auditioning for chasing cars, and I will see you, I don't know, maybe soon, maybe later, but bye for now.